I'm Dr. Ahmed Radi. I'm the chairperson for this scientific session. And I just want to mention that we have 5 papers. So I need to make sure that the presenters are here as well. So Dr. Oluwayemi from South Africa. She's here. No, it's not. The online session is with Mr. Mahmoud Chaban.
No, it's online. It's online participation. It's online.
It's South Africa, Walter Solo University. Okay, so this is online. Okay. So Dr. Nizombi, I'm sorry to pronounce it in a wrong way, but University of South Africa as well. Dr. Sizini, thank you. And Mahmoud is online from Saudi Arabia. Dr. Layla Mustafa. And Dr. Okoshinato. So Nigeria. Mogut, is he here? So, we have 2 online and 2 presenter live. So we have only 4, right? From Nigeria. The papers from Nigeria is not here. Perfect. Dr. Oluwayemi. I'm sorry if I pronounce it in a wrong way. So, Prof. Dr. Wayumi, the mic is yours. Please proceed.
Okay, so good afternoon once again to all my colleagues that are here, and good afternoon to the moderator for today and the chairperson. So my topic is exploring the influence of information literacy and library sustainability in Africa. So the first question I want us to have at the back of our mind is there any influence do we think there's any influence that information literacy can make in Africa? And also, is there library sustainability in Africa generally? Okay, so the aim of the study is to explore the influence of information literacy. Do we think there's any influence coming from information literacy and library sustainability in Africa? Despite the fact that we have different cultures, languages, socioeconomic conditions, Africa encounters substantial challenges or problems in accessing and utilizing information because of now we are in the 21st century whereby information are increasing. So with the level of the cultures that we have now, the languages, the socioeconomic aspects of it, do we think we have enough access to the information that we need? Information literacy involves assessing, evaluating, and utilizing information efficiently or effectively. Before going deeply to what information literacy is on its own, information literacy is a lifelong learning whereby we learn every day. So information is required as a user of information. In as much as we are living on this earth, we need information. So that is information. Information literacy is the knowledge. How can you access this information that you need as an information user? How can you evaluate this information? In as much as we know we are in the digital age, we can have access to different information. Are they the right information that you need at that particular period of time? On the other hand, adopting sustainable library practices is crucial, which means that it's very important for providing fair access to information. We have libraries, we have local libraries, we have digital libraries, but do they have enough resources to circulate this information to users of information? Or are these libraries that we have, both local or digital library, are they catering for our needs as a users of information? So, even though the importance of this information literacy and sustainable library practice is growing every day, there's still need, or there's still a notable gap or research gap that still needs to be filled, because we are increasing in numbers, our needs are increasing. So are the libraries resources enough to cater for this information that we need? So according to this researcher, he said information literacy instruction and library education programs have not achieved the desired impact that needs to be filled. So another scholar stated that the first-year university students lack the information literacy skills, which is very necessary, that not even first-year students generally, as in as much as we are living, we need this information. So do we really have that skills? Do we have the skills of searching for this information that we need? Even if the digital library or the developed libraries have these resources, are we able to access this information or these resources being provided by these libraries? So while information literacy has been exploited as a tool for improving student learning, few studies have examined its impact on the environmental, financial, and operational sustainability of libraries. So few studies also apply sustainability metrics to assess how these information literacy programs, like I said, scholars carried out a study on the level, information level of the undergraduate student, their skills, if it is enough for them to undergo or get enough information in higher education institution. Okay, so how this information literacy program can foster partnership between libraries, educational institution, example is what I just stated now from the first year students, and also local community to promote sustainability goals. How can we use this, enrich our information literacy skills to foster or promote sustainability goals? The methodology is not an empirical study, it's a literature review. So information, I use systematic review to gather the methodology I use for this article. And through this means I assess all the some databases that are available through my university, through my institution databases. And I also use Google Scholar to gather some information that I use in reviewing or writing the article. So the research design that I use is inclusion and exclusion. Why? Because of biasness. I just want it to be a fair review article. So that's why I adopted inclusion and exclusion criteria to review the article. So my review article, the review article, I first asked my question, some keywords from my topic, information literacy, library sustainability. Through these keywords, I generated and I reviewed some articles from the database that I've mentioned, like the e-journals, e-books, the web score and co. Okay, and so on. So others information that I generated through these keywords are the information literacy and library sustainability, like I said. The paper the review article, both empirical articles were reviewed for my article, and starting from the year of 2000 to 2024, pardon me for that. And like I said, I applied the inclusion are the one that I use for my article, while the exclusion are the one that are not related to my article. Or also I downloaded more than the article that I needed, duplications, exclusion fall under that. And also because some are not accessible, I have to pay. So I excluded some that I didn't use. So altogether for my research methodology, I used 59 articles for my reference review. I hope I'm not too fast. I just don't want to take time. Okay, so under the theoretical framework, in as much as we know that theoretical framework supports any research work or research article or research project, is theoretical framework, or some people call it conceptual framework, but I use theoretical framework for my review article. And the theoretical framework I adopted is called transformative theory. From the name transformative, it transforms what the knowledge that we think we might have and the skills that we might require to acknowledge more knowledge concerning this information literacy and the sustainability aspect of it. So what does this theoretical framework talk about, which is this transformative theory? Is stated that incorporating this theory in African context is aligned with emphasizing on cultural responsiveness in research and evaluation. So it also acknowledge and address the historical legacy of colonialism and inequality that continue to affect access to education. You remember that from the beginning, I said information literacy affect the socio-economic aspects, education, higher education, and I mentioned the undergraduate as an example. Okay, so the transformation theory that I use is aligned with the topic, and that is why I'm adopting this transformative theory in supporting my review article. The literature aspect of it, information literacy and library sustainability. In South Africa, the scarcity of school libraries has resulted to a lot of shortage of librarians, and the skill needed cannot also be enough to access all this information. And because the professional librarians that are required cannot, we don't have enough of them. Some need to go under profession studies to acquire more knowledge in distributing or helping users to get this information. And so because of this, because it's a profession on its own, library is a profession on its own, so we required a professional librarian to really access all this information and help information users. So in South Africa, we have in South African schools, local schools or developing schools need enough librarians in order to help them to find, organize, and access this information for decision makings and problem solving are very also essential in life skills for all learners, not even all learners as an information users. So, but in this aspect, because there's shortage of librarians in these schools, they lack that essential skills of searching information through their libraries or through the text information provided by the schools. So these
Dr.
skills,
Dr. Odo,
yes,
you just have 5
yes.
minutes left. So could you
Okay,
please
sir. Okay, so the continuation from that aspect is that also information literacy is very crucial for both personal and professional development. I've explained that as a librarian or as an information user. So collaborations is also very important. Collaboration between libraries and education institution is also very important in promoting information literacy programs and cater for the needs of the users. I will not go deeply to this because it's still under my literature review. So some challenges that we are facing in Africa are collaboration challenges. As my institution, this is an opportunity to present my article. Maybe I will say colleagues that I can collaborate with in order to improve the level of information literacy skills and the sustainability development of our libraries. Technology aspect is also a very fundamental issues that is affecting us as an Africa. And as much as we know that we are still Africa, we have developed countries that have access to these technologies. So how can we collaborate with them or have an alliance with them in order to get access to this technology that will improve our information literacy and sustainability of the Africa? Possibility ways is providing access to needed information effectively and efficiently through the technology collaboration grants, writing of articles, presentation of articles in a conference like this, understanding the economic, legal, and social issues surrounding the use of information. If I noticed that because we don't understand the economic and legal and social issues surrounding the use of this information, then we won't know how to solve or access this information as an information user. So sustainability in Africa can also be promoted by training, capacity, and capacity building, cross-institutional collaboration, information literacy, and operational sustainability. In conclusion and recommendation, the study emphasized that there is a crucial role of information literacy program that is needed in higher education institution or developing institution. And also in doing this justice to this, we are supposed to also look thoroughly into the sustainability within Africa educational institution. So in encouraging this, we are hoping that libraries act as a key drivers to both environmental and the educational sustainability aspect of it. So the key recommendation is that integrating sustainability into information literacy courses in higher education is very important. Empowering libraries with these, with digital resources and renewable energy, fostering collaborations, and promoting further research on effective information literacy models like blended and mobile learning. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Odu, for committing to time. We're going to delay the question to the end of the session. So the second paper for today is New Paradigms in Information Literacy, Digital Competencies, and Digital Skills for Academic Libraries in South Africa. So we have Dr. Makhathini from South Africa University.
Colleagues, good afternoon. My name is Dr. Dombizonke Sizene Makhathini from the University of South Africa, based in KwaZulu-Natal region in Pietermaritzburg. I'm a branch librarian there and a research coordinator. My topic for today is new paradigms, digital literacy, digital skills, and digital competency for academic librarians in South Africa. What informed this paper is based on the change in information. There is a huge change in terms of information needs, and the change in information provision, as well as the change in information seeking, which requires us as librarians to upskill and reskill so that we meet the challenges of the 21st century librarianship. The outline of my presentation is as follows. I will start with the introduction, digital pedagogy, digital literacy, digital skills, competency, literacy framework, and I will take down the memory lane from traditional to digital era, and also incorporate application of artificial intelligence. And then I will touch base on library robots and give some few examples. Then I will conclude. The information landscape in which librarians operate in is becoming complex. This calls for information specialists across the globe to acquire digital literacy skills to effectively perform their task. We have witnessed libraries facing the evolving technological advancement and digitization of information. This needs librarians to upgrade their skills in order to align themselves with the digital era. Digital technology has changed the way users search for information. Therefore, we need also to change the way we provide information. We need to empower learners to embrace accessibility and inclusion, to differentiate in personalization and actively engaging learners. Under digital pedagogy, we have observed that online education is becoming a new normal for almost all the universities across the globe. Online learning actually resulted from distance learning, which was known long before the emergence of modern technology and communication technologies. Education system has become more flexible as there is no need for traveling on campus. The learners of today, university learners of today, they have a flexibility of finding a job while they're studying. What is our role then as librarians? Our role is to make sure that while the globe is characterized by technology, digital technology that shape their everyday living, we provide information for them and we provide access to information wherever they are at any given time when they need information, in order for us to meet what they actually expect from us as librarians in the 21st century era. Let me just zoom in on what is it that you're talking about if you're talking about digital skills. If we can effectively perform our task in a digital environment and use the digital tools, we have the digital skills. If you can identify and use information in various formats from a wide range of sources through computers and be able to read and interpret media, evaluate, and apply new knowledge gained from digital setting. In this digital landscape, academic librarians are required to manipulate information and knowledge into digital platforms to bridge the digital divide and access provision to remote users. It is important, an important requirement for librarians for data curation and also preservation of library materials. It enables us to work successfully in this digital environment and to meet the challenges of digital librarianship. Academic librarians who possess digital skills are responsible for transferring those skills to library users and incorporate them in their library training. According to Johnston in 2020, publication that was published in 2020, digital literacy is a requirement for all library professionals in this era. It is crucial that digital literacy be incorporated to information literacy programs. To be digital literate as an information professional is not just a skill, it is a must to have. Digital literacy is needed in the workplace. It goes beyond the higher education environment. It is needed in the workplace and also in social lives. Even when we define digital literacy and when we compile digital literacy frameworks, we need to project that digital literacy is needed in all spheres. Academic libraries across the globe have been at the lead of supporting the provision of online learning information resources, online services, and online training. This is according to Mazoko in 2021. We've been in a leading role in supporting students and staff in developing information and digital literacy skills through online training, webinars, workshops, and one-on-one e-consultation.
Doctor, 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay, I'll try to be quick. Digital literacy training is needed. However, there are some barriers in digital literacy training. There's still a challenge. In a developing societies, the technological infrastructure is still a challenge to address the digital literacy programs. Communities in rural areas are still finding it difficult to access digital services due to connectivity issues. Academic libraries need to build a clear foundation for provision of online services and put the safety measures that will allow the smooth operation of blended learning. Digital competency for librarians in an academic sector is not only a requirement to be digital competent, it is a must for us. Digital transformation occurs when digital usage transforms the domain-specific areas using creativity. To be able to teach or train university community to filter out unprocessed information attained from the internet and then evaluate and transform the information into knowledge. Some other countries, some countries in Europe, in Australian universities, they have developed some digital literacy frameworks. One of the universities is Edith Cowan University Libraries. They have developed a digital literacy framework with other stakeholders. In those framework, the emphasis is based on employability of our students after they have finished the university. Because that is very crucial. We don't just enter into digital space for the sake of doing that. We need to prepare the students for the work environment and for the corporate world. Let me just take down down the memory lane, where we transition from traditional to a digital format. Previously, we were using a lot of books, in print books, and now we have incorporated the e-collection. We incorporated the e-journals. Previously, the document delivery system was through post office and stuff, but now we just scan the document and deliver to a student through email or through Teams. From those who studied way back, like myself, they would understand this picture more. The first picture, it shows how we used to suffer when we need to get information. We need to carry a lot of books, a heavy books. And then due to the digital era now, we just a click away from the information.
Doctor, 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Okay. And then there's the application of ARs in librarianship. Where do we fit in these ARs? We need to embrace that ARs are here and they are not going anywhere. We need to live with them. But we need to make sure that we teach our students to use them in an ethical manner. Otherwise, it's not only it is not only disadvantaging the students' academic journey, it also impacts on the dignity of the university. So it is important for us as librarians to be artificial intelligence literate so that we can be able to teach our students on how to use these tools in an ethical manner. Then we have library robots. Library robots are here and they are invading our space. Are we going to fold our arms and let the robots do our work? They will never ever replace us. We need to embrace them, but we need to have them some skills of working with these robots. These robots can do a lot of job that we can do as librarians if we don't upskill ourselves. This robot, the users can just download. For myself, who is in an open distance e-learning institution, this robot can work very well for my students because they just download the app and then the robot can do the work for us. It can answer the reference queries. If we don't upskill, we will perish. As I conclude, because I can't finish now, as I conclude, it is important for us as librarians to ensure that we reskill, we upskill, and we face the digital era. Otherwise, we will perish. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Musa. You can go back. Thank you. So our third paper for today is an online presenter, Mr. Mahmoud Shaban from Galala University, with the title of using virtual reality technology in libraries, innovative solution for a long distance and the needs of people with disabilities. Case study of Galala University. Mr. Mahmoud, أنت معانا? The paper will be in Arabic, so please use the interpretation devices if needed.
طيب أنا حابب أشكر يعني جميع المشاركين وأساتذتي في المجال، وبصراحة مبسوط إني معاكم النهاردة. أعرفكم بنفسي، أنا محمود شعبان، يعني ابن من أبناء جامعة عين شمس. حاليا أخصائي مكتبات تقني في شركة إكساب، هي شركة متخصصة في تطوير المنصات والخدمات الإلكترونية، وسابقا أخصائي مكتبات في جامعة الجلالة. جامعة الجلالة يعني اللي أنا فخور إني كنت جزء منها، وإنها كانت أول مكان يعني أطبق فيه اللي اتعلمته في دراستي، وإنها متبنية الفكر الجديد يعني، وبتساعد كل الموجودين فيها على الإبداع والابتكار. طيب أنا الباك جراوند بتاعتي يمكن مختلفة شوية، لأني اشتغلت 5 سنين في مجال تطوير المواقع، واشتغلت كذا سنة في مشاريع الرقمنة اللي عملتها الحكومة المصرية في الفترة الأخيرة. يعني ده ساعدني كتير جدا في تطبيق موضوعنا النهاردة. في عرض النهاردة احنا هنتكلم عن حاجة جديدة في مجال المكتبات وما شفناهاش كتير قبل كده، وهي استخدام تقنية الواقع الافتراضي في المكتبات. يعني بعضكم سمع عن تقنية الواقع الافتراضي زي ميتا ونظارات الواقع الافتراضي وال 360 فيرتشوال تور اللي بتتعمل كتير. لكن اللي هنتكلم عنه النهارده هو ازاي التقنية دي ممكن تستخدم بشكل فعال في تحسين الخدمات اللي بتقدمها المكتبات الجامعية. طيب خلينا نبدأ كده بأبسط حاجة. يعني ايه واقع افتراضي؟ يعني ببساطة الواقع الافتراضي هو تقنية بتديك إحساس وبتقربك بشكل كبير كأنك موجود في مكان تاني، وبتقدر تتفاعل مع البيئة الافتراضية دي بشكل طبيعي. طب ازاي نقدر نستخدمها انها تساعدنا في المكتبات الأكاديمية؟ في المكتبة الأكاديمية احنا بنضع القارئ أو المستخدم في الأولوية الأولى. يعني هدفنا هو إننا نحسن تجربتهم ونخليهم يوصلوا للمعلومات بشكل أسهل وأسرع. اللي حصل هو إن التقنية دي اللي في الأصل مصممة للتفاعل الطبيعي بين الإنسان والحاسوب، يعني ممكن تطبق في المكتبات. ومن هنا جت فكرة استخدام الواقع الافتراضي في المكتبة الجامعية. الدراسة دي كان هدفها الرئيسي إننا نستكشف إزاي نقدر نستخدم تقنية الواقع الافتراضي في مكتبة جامعة الجلالة، وخصوصا في استرجاع المعلومات للطلاب وعمل بيئة افتراضية تحاكي المكتبة الموجودة بالفعل. دلوقتي لو فكرنا في الموضوع، يعني الطلبة اللي عندهم صعوبة في الوصول للمكتبة لأسباب زي بعد المسافة أو الظروف الصحية والاحتياجات الخاصة، يعني هيقدروا يستخدموا المكتبة دي عن طريق الواقع الافتراضي. كمان الطلبة في الحالة الطبيعية يعني ممكن يستفيدوا من الخدمات بشكل أسهل وأسرع. أنا عارف إن في الحالة دي بيقابلنا سؤال فيصلي، واللي هو طيب ما إحنا كده هنلغي دور المكتبة على أرض الواقع أو دورها الفعلي الموجود. بس يعني أنا في وجهة نظري إننا لازم نحاول نلاقي طرق جديدة ومبتكرة لتسهيل الوصول للمعلومات، وده بذوي الاحتياجات الخاصة، تسهيل الموضوع عليهم وجعل مشاركتهم يعني أسهل في الأنشطة اللي بتقوم بيها المكتبة، عن طريق عمل أنشطة جديدة في بيئة الواقع الافتراضي. ما يبقاش الموضوع مقتصر بس على فكرة الجيميفيكيشن التقليدية عن طريق الويب سايتس بس، مش أكتر. الدراسة دي شملت حاجات كتير، منها إزاي نطبق التقنية دي في المكتبة، إزاي نحسن تجربة الطلاب، وكمان إيه التحديات اللي ممكن تواجهنا وإزاي نحلها. عملية التطوير، يعني عملية التطوير عشان نقدر نبني بيئة واقع افتراضي متكاملة، إحنا محتاجين نحدد إيه الأماكن اللي هيتم تضمينها في البيئة الافتراضية، ونعمل زي يوزر كيس سيناريوز كده نحدد بيها المستخدم بتاعنا محتاج ايه ونسهل عليه الاستخدام ازاي. احنا اخترنا منصة اوتوديسك يونيتي. المنصة دي معروفة في مجال تطوير تطبيقات الواقع الافتراضي لانها قوية وفيها ادوات كتير تساعدنا. هي في الاصل بتستخدم في انشاء الالعاب الالكترونية وعمل البيئة الافتراضية الخاصة بيها. فيها بنقدر نحدد كل المعطيات والمخرجات اللي هيعملها. يعني بمعنى ابسط، هي بيها بنقدر نحدد كل 3D اوبجكت مكانه فين ومقاسه ايه وكل الفيزيكس الخاصه بيه داخل البيئه الافتراضيه. استخدمنا كمان برنامج 3D ماكس عشان نصمم كل حاجه في المكتبه بشكل واقعي جدا، مثلا الكتب، الارفف، الطاولات. كل التفاصيل الصغيره دي اتصممت بدقه عشان الطالب يحس انه في مكتبه حقيقيه. طبعا ده بالامكانيات المتاحه بدون الاستعانه باي مصمم او مبرمج خارجي. يعني الحمد لله قدرت اتعلم البرامج واستخدمها بالشكل المطلوب اللي يناسبنا نوصل لنتيجه مرضيه عشان تكون نسخه اوليه. ده غير اننا دمجنا تقنيه ذكاء اصطناعي او نموذج ذكاء اصطناعي اللي هو لاما 2. هو نموذج ذكاء اصطناعي متقدم، يعني متخصص في معالجه اللغه الطبيعيه، يقدر يفهم ويتعامل مع النصوص المكتوبه زي ما البشر بيتعاملوا معاهم. يعني قدرته على فهم اللغة الطبيعية بطريقة أكثر تطورا من النماذج التقليدية بيخليه مثال للتطبيقات اللي بتعتمد على التفاعل اللغوي زي المحادثات الذكية والبحث في قواعد البيانات الكبيرة. يعني الطالب ممكن يسأل عن أي حاجة وهو موجود في بيئة الواقع الافتراضي ويقدر يوصل للمعلومات بسرعة وبسهولة. يعني هعرض معاكم كده شكل البيئة الافتراضية والنتيجة اللي وصلنا لها في النسخة يعني النسخة دي تعتبر نسخة كده طبق الأصل من المكتبة الموجودة بمحتوياتها بنفس الأساس والأماكن. ثواني. يعني هنا احنا أحلى حاجة في إننا استخدمنا يونيتي، احنا أكننا بنعمل فيديو جيم. عندك كاركتر تقدر تتحكم فيه، تتحرك في المكان، تتحكم في الأساس اللي موجود، وتقدر جواه بشوية تطوير أو يعني نحول البيئة الافتراضية دي وتبقى فكرة إنها تبقى أونلاين أو مجموعة يعني من الناس يدخلوا مع بعض ونعمل أنشطة جديدة فعليا أكننا في المكتبة. طبعا يعني هي فكرة بس إن يعتبر الكواليتي قليل شوية، بس يعني ده يمكن عشان فكرة الإمكانيات اللي موجودة عندنا بس مش. طيب ثواني.
محمود فاضل معاك 5 دقايق.
اوكي، طب البرزنتيشن بس ظاهر دلوقتي ولا؟
ظهر، اتفضل كمل.
عشان نقدر نعرف بقى تأثير التقنية دي على الطلبة، عملنا استبيان بسيط كده بعد ما خلينا مجموعة عشوائية من الطلبة يستخدموا المكتبة الافتراضية. الأسئلة دي كانت بتدور حوالين حاجات زي سهولة استخدام المكتبة، رضاهم عن المكتبة الافتراضية، وفايدة الخدمة دي ليهم. النتائج كانت إيجابية بشكل كبير، يعني الطلبة حسوا إن استخدام المكتبة الافتراضية كان سهل وكمان حسوا بفايدة كبيرة منها. يعني الرضا الكلي كان 4 من 5، وده رقم كويس جدا بالنسبة للتجربة الأولية. دلوقتي بناء على اللي وصلنا له من التجربة، يعني عندنا شوية توصيات للمكتبات اللي عايزة تدخل تقنية الواقع الافتراضي في خدماتها. أول حاجة يعني لازم يكون في كده خطة واضحة، يحددوا أهدافهم وكمان يستثمروا في البنية التحتية اللازمة، ولازم يدربوا الموظفين ويشركوا الطلبة وأعضاء هيئة التدريس في الموضوع. ما يكونش التدريب مرة واحدة، لازم يبقى فيه زي تقييم مستمر وتحسين بشكل دائم. ولازم يتعاونوا مع مؤسسات تانية وشركات تكنولوجية عشان يفضلوا على دراية بأحدث التطورات. يعني في النهاية التقييم المستمر والتسويق الفعال للخدمة الجديدة هيكون ليه دور كبير في نجاح المبادرة دي. الواقع الافتراضي عنده القدرة إنه يغير شكل المكتبات الأكاديمية تماما. الطلاب هيقدروا يدخلوا بيئة تعليمية جديدة تفاعلية، وده هيحسن تجربة التعلم بشكل كبير. حابب أشكركم على وقتكم واستماعكم، وأشكر المنظمين جميعا على ظهور المؤتمر بالشكل المشرف دوت، وآسف إني طولت عليكم. شكرا جدا.
شكرا يا محمود. Thank you. So now with Dr. Laila Mustafa, Associate Professor in Alliance University, with a paper talking about artificial intelligence integration and privacy in academic libraries.
مساء الخير. أنا آسفة هتكلم بالإنجليزي عشان أنا بقرأ بالإنجليزي وبدرس بالإنجليزي وبعمل كل حاجة بالإنجليزي، فإن شاء الله تفهموا مني وتعرفوا. طبعا of course I would like to thank everyone here. Everyone really worked hard to make this happen, and thank you for those who stayed to the end of the conference. My position today is not to tell you why AI is good, if we should use it or no. I will sit on the other side and say the privacy. We are all excited about AI. We are all talking about using AI. Remember when we encourage our students to use social media? Everyone was saying social media, and then now we are really paying the price for our kids, our students addicted and not focus. and losing really interest in social. So we have to be careful. We will use AI, but think about privacy, because now we are losing also our data. I became interested in AI after I was working for many, many years on preserving culture heritage in time of war and conflict. And then I find out AI need data, and we are not really feeding the data to AI, but there is people who are creating AI, taking all this open access and information without librarian really being involved 100% and helping them to organize this data, to evaluate it. They are excited as expertise, and they start working on this, and now we are using their innovation, and we are stuck with misinformation that, I mean, really, we will find a mess. With all the respect to the innovation, but it's really difficult. When I started my research, nobody was really writing, librarians are not writing about privacy and AI. And nobody believed this is not happening. And everyone said, are you sure, are you sure? So I did a lot of readings, a lot of investigating in Arabic and English to find if someone did this work before me. The first thing that I was interested in, what's AI? I find that there is no definition of AI. And what really attracted me, one of my professors was talking about the policy and why United States doesn't have AI policy, because there is no definition. And I couldn't believe it. So I looked and I find everyone in engineering, in IT, everyone has his own definition of AI, and I couldn't really find one. So the problem is in my research, I don't have a result until now, and I will tell you why. The problem is the core issue of this study is to protect user privacy. I'm not looking for those library are not protecting the user privacy. I'm looking for what are you doing now so we can collect or create a framework for everyone to use instead of everyone is doing his own business. So privacy also doesn't have one definition. And privacy in the United States is a big topic. Everyone in the library, getting to the library, knows by heart that the library is protecting their data. But when it comes to AI, everyone, not everyone, policymakers are not interested in meeting with me, because the first things on privacy, we don't really know if we are protecting our user privacy. Privacy simply is, if something is free, then you are the product. So don't believe if you are getting AI, you are not giving anything. And some people will tell you, I can help you to protect your privacy, but believe me, once you put ChatGPT on your computer, you have no privacy. This is from my experience. I would ask ChatGPT some question, and I find the information coming from my work. So even I'm not saying cite myself, like cite Layla for me. The research focus actually use of AI academic library. AI has a potential to transform academic libraries. This is, we all agree that the AI will really transform our life, and we all know that we are all now talk to Siri to find information. We are Googling everything. We can Google picture today and find, like, I don't have to ask you, where did you buy your dress? I can just take a picture of your dress and Google it and find out where it is sold. And I'm also trying in my research to focus on data privacy, because in the United States also data privacy is a big issue, and it is protected by the government. So we use the FIRMA policy, which is like we have in every different, discipline, or like in health we have a policy that the patient are, their privacy is protected by the government. So you can sue a hospital if they share your information. It's the same in the university. If a student really find out that the university is selling their information, they can sue the university. The purpose of my study is actually to explore. I'm just exploring, and when I try to interview decision makers like a dean of library or a provost, I tell them I'm not looking if you are protecting the user privacy, I'm looking if you are doing anything to do it. So I'm just exploring the factors influencing academic libraries when they adopt any type of AI. So sometimes they adopt a database that use AI, but user doesn't know this actually. A lot of the students, they don't know that when you search the database and you get recommendation to read this article or these articles, this is AI. But students don't make the connection. Sometimes actually librarians don't make the connection. The research question is try to factor influencing, the factors influence AI implementation, why they are adopting ChatGPT or Copilot or this database or that database, the privacy policy and AI. Also, I'm trying to, it's part of my research question, the frequency of reference, the professional library organization. Do they use, because in the United States also we have American Library Associations, which is control a lot of library policy, and we have a meeting every year. It has like about 3,000 librarians attend this meeting. And we have other actually international organization. The definition of AI, as I told you, there is many definitions. So I use this one. Artificial intelligence is a cluster of technologies. I'm not going to read for you, but this one I just discovered and I like it a lot. Artificial intelligence is applications of mathematics and software code to teach computer how to understand and synthesize and generate knowledge in a way similar to how people are doing. So they are really intimidate us. We are not, so they are, if you are smart and you put some smart question or thoughtful question to the ChatGPT or Copilot or any kind of tools, you will get the right answer. If you don't think about your question or the prompt, you get the stupid, and you will think that the system is hallucinated, which is something I don't like to use this word actually. There are 3 types of AI. I'm maybe overlapped. A lot of my colleagues talked about AI today, so forgive me for this. I didn't know who was talking about what. So there are 3 types of AI. The NARO one, which is like Siri and Alexa. This is a symbol, and they call it now, it's stupid because it just really gives you a simple information. The one we are all talking about is a general or strong AI, which is like ChatGPT and Copilot. And the third one, which is still didn't exist in reality, but maybe exists in the lab, but we don't know anything, that the super, the one that we saw in the movie, that maybe we saw it actually now in the war in Palestine. We saw some type of AI is disaster.
Dr. Laila.
Okay. We will leave privacy now. So as I told you before, okay. This is now I cannot say anything. Okay, the timeline of privacy in the United States started in 1939 to talk about privacy on library, and it's part of the Constitution actually, one of the Constitution mandates. And the development is based on changing in technology, changing in society, like when September 11, also all the libraries in the United States had to do something to protect the user's privacy, because the FBI started going to university asking about student use of the library. So this is also one of the things made the university change their privacy. I had to find a theory to work on my research. It was very hard to find a theory with something, a new topic, because there is no definition of privacy. Like I can use only one definition. There is no one definition of AI. So because I'm asking how we are protecting our user privacy, when anyone enters a library, there is a social contract between the library and the users. It's not something written. There is something we know that I'm protected here. When you have a child, your child sleep in the house and know it's safe, because there is a social contract between the father and the children, or the mother and the children. So I'm using social contract, which is really say there is a contract between the users when they come to the library, and any tools we are using, we are supposed to tell the users, don't worry, we are protecting your privacy. So when we break it, even if we know we are breaking this or we don't know, we are breaking the contract between us and our students. And this is why I'm saying, what are we doing to keep protecting the user's privacy? So the methodology I used, I was going to go with survey, but then survey asked what? I don't know who knows what. Like in this room, I don't think everyone here knows exactly how ChatGPT is working. I don't know everyone knows that when you use any database, there is AI in the back. Your email today has AI, so I couldn't go with a survey. So I started with the interview, and this is the process of my research. So I did the literature review to see if there is really a gap or no. So I found there is really a gap. Nobody wrote about this topic. So I decided to go with phase 1 with the interview, and I'm really struggling because my target group is decision makers like dean, associate dean, anyone who is really helping in taking decision. And to meet with those people, first of all, they are busy. Second, they are worried. So I find out it's easy if I give them some of the questions that I'm going to ask them. And actually, I'm sharing the question with them. So I'm doing the semi-instructors interview. So it's not like all with a lot of conversation. It's like yes or no, but also there is some part where they can give me more details. And I'm finding really 2 things. And I will end with this because I don't have a result to share with you. So after the interview, I will analyze the data, and then I will go for a survey. And then I will give you the result in one point. In my 5 interviews, I sent the interview to the invitation for 300 people. I get 2 people accepted my invitation, which is not bad. So now I'm in my 3rd round, and I get 6 people now doing the interview with me. So I did 5 of them, and I have 1 next week. And this is good because I find they are not hesitant to say, we are not really knowing what we are doing. We are adopting what the user needs because the user needs to use AI in data management, in data mining. But in reality, what I find, and I leave this to you, I think we need to change our vocabulary. The word privacy, we need to change it. The word citations, the word like integrity, the users has to know everything and decide what to do. And we have to provide the surface, and we tell them exactly what we can control and we cannot control. But if we keep saying, do you cite AI? What citation? I think we have to change the word citation and find something new. And privacy is something we have to protect the users, but we should not really stop not using AI because we cannot protect it, but we have to tell our users. When you use AI, you have no privacy because AI works with your data. If you don't feed it with data, you don't get any result. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Laila. So last but not least, Dr. Musa from Nigeria, university librarian, with a paper talk about AI and open of research clinic support services in Federal University in Nigeria, right?
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. The chair of this occasion, my colleagues in the alliance profession, ladies and gentlemen, the title of my presentation is AI and Open Research Clinic Support Services in Federal University, Dusima, Katsina State, Nigeria, and way forward. The outline of my today's presentation, as you can see, though I'm going to summarize because of the time, we are going to look at the introduction, the university libraries, Puduma library services, what research clinic support service is all about, the composition, because my presentation, I'm going to focus on how librarians offer research clinic support services through the AI future. Then some challenges and way forward. Yeah, we are all here with, it is generally agreed and accepted that the technology, especially AI, have made this world a convenient place to live in peace and contribute positively or otherwise. I don't want to use negatively. This is because we know that the technology have touched all aspects of our life, including health, transportation, communication, education. Therefore, libraries and information services are not excluded from technological advancement. Yet, the advancement of technology have completely changed the dimension of information access, process, and dissemination in academic environment. The technology has made our world more accessible, an easier way to acquire knowledge from any part of the world. Therefore, librarians are expected to revive or to change their mode of operation. We are expected to change the mode of operation in order to meet with global visibility. Because of the time, let me go directly to the university libraries, because Fuduma Library is a university library, and it is globally accepted that there can be no standard and progressive university without a standard and progressive university library. It is globally accepted because the university libraries are meant to support the curriculum of the university, which has to do with the availability with information resources, information services, and technology. The Fuduma Library is an academic library with two major purposes. One, to support the university curriculum and the researches of the university, as well as the community at large. So what research clinic support services? Because the university is an academic library. And as a university librarian, we look at, there are so many AI future, AI applications, which we as an academic librarians need to accept it. After accepting, there is need to use the technology to assist or to guide our researchers, scholars, to make use of them in order to get a very good or to produce a good research. Yet, a research clinic support services in Fuduma Library is a unit established 3 years ago, where to support researchers, scholars, students, and any other within the community will be guided on how to conduct research or scientific investigation using AI future or AI technology. The Research Clinic Support Services is a new innovation in our library, which has to do with topic generation. We are included because millions of naira have been spent by our university to acquire a lot of the resources, to acquire Science Direct, Hinari, ESCO, Gesto, whatever. Mendeley, Zeteros, Scopus, Cyval, whatever. So many applications. But unfortunately, we realize our researchers, scholars, they are left behind. They are not utilizing. They rely on Google, searching information from Google, Yahoo. And professionally, searching information on Google, Google is just like a market. So that is why the units, we were able to create a unit where the researchers, the scholars, whoever engaged in research should go to the unit, will guide them right from the topic generation, literature search, how to go about, how to search literature, using simple search, advanced search, keyword search, expanded search, whatever, any search strategy, it is part of the work of academic librarians to support research clinic support services. After that, the researchers will be guided using AI how to make a paraphrase. There are so many softwares like Keyboard application, like copy application. We will guide them. Okay, you search for literature. Okay, go there. Use this application to make a preparation. After preparation, make your inputs up to the plagiarism check, acknowledgement using Mendeley or whatever Zetero or Scopus. So the system of research clinical support services, researcher will be guided from topic generation, literature search, then we will guide them the best method to collect data. If it is qualitative research, we'll know the best application for you. Are you going to use Friday AI? It's an application. If you are doing qualitative research, there are Google form if you want to distribute your literature. The instruments, we can help them to design their instrument. It is part of the work of librarian to engage into research from the beginning up to the bibliography, how they can go about generating bibliography using Mendeley. It's an online academic social media application where you can connect with the researchers. It is our work. And again, it is our duty under research clinic support services to educate them or to be part of the researchers. When you want to collect data analysis will teach them. There are so many applications like SPSS, Starter. There are so many. You can teach them or you can be part of coding. After coding, then...
Dr. Musa.
Yes?
5 minutes.
No problem. Then we have other composition of research clinic support service, not only for research. As you can see, we have research consultation services under research clinic support services. We have it just interaction between librarians, especially those academic librarians, and also the researcher. We have citation style and plagiarism support services. We subscribe to Turnitin, Eagle Scan it is a software by Nigerian government. Then we have e-learning support services. In these services, academics from different faculties, we usually collect their profile, their area of specialization, and be producing some content. I could be books, journals, video lectures, audio, and supply to them through their email as part of the e-learning support services. Also, under research clinical support service, we have training and teaching support services, assignment consultation services, database and digital content. We have presentation and rehearsal support services. After doing all the research, we have a unit, dedicated unit, where you can go there and make a rehearsal, we'll make our contribution, we can criticize your work, we can make some input before you go to final viva or whatever. It's part of it. You can see how the research clinic support services, some of the softwares we're using for research clinic support services. This is part of the work we are doing related to research clinic support services. Finally, yet, there are so many challenges in our academic libraries, like we are having shortage of academic staff, academic librarians. Because for you to engage into research, you must have a knowledge on what, why, how, for what, to what. You must have this. Then what research method are you going to adopt? So you must have the knowledge, but by God's grace, we are planning to get more academic librarians. Then there are so many challenges, but because of the time. And in line with these challenges, we are planning currently, I recommend almost 25 non-academic librarians to go for MLS, some university to sponsor them for PhD so that they can make their input on that to address the issue. At the same time, we need AI experts. We need to make recommendation to have a collaboration with our colleagues internationally so that we can share knowledge, we can share the ideas. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Musa. Thank you. So thank you all for the wonderful papers. And now for questions. Is there any questions? Dr. Laila, Mr. Mahmoud, Dr. Musa? Nothing? Thank you again for attending the final scientific committee. Question? Yes, fine. Yes. الميكروفون هنا من فضلك.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much, our professional colleagues, for these wonderful presentations. For the second presenter, the woman, I'm sorry that I can't remember the name. Yeah, thank you for your presentation. In your presentation, you mentioned several times that librarians should learn those kind of artificial intelligence digital platforms and skills to apply. I want to find out which of these digital platforms and skills that you will refer to or recommend librarians to use effectively in applying or working in their libraries. And then secondly, have you done any investigations in your country to find out which of these digital skills or digital platforms that some of the libraries are using in your country and those that they are not using, that you can advise them to use for effective library service? And are there any plans or actionable items towards helping those librarians who are not using these kind of digital platforms and skills to implement in their institutions? Thank you.
Thank you so much for your question. The presentation, my presentation was actually based on the paper that is still in progress. I'm still doing a lot of investigation on the topic. However, I just want to make one example of what best practices that we have to do. One of them that we are doing as the University of South Africa is to digitize our library materials and our archival materials, of which we are actually busy with. The lessons learned is that maybe you will recall or you read on the news like 5 years ago when the UCT library, there was a fire in the law library and they lost all the collection. So we learned from that incident that we actually need to digitize our library materials. However, not all the universities have digitize their materials because of the budget as well. But it's actually the work in progress that all university libraries are trying to digitize their library materials.
And what about the copyright for those items?
They also comply with the Copyright Act. We need to comply with the Copyright
So
Act.
the digital, it's copyright. I
Yes.
have my own book, so I just bought it to the internal use, not to
What-
digitize it and offer it through the internet or your network.
Uh-huh.
Is there any constraints or?
What we actually
Some
do,
parents
we're
do
working with the publishers.
So you have an
Yes.
agreement with the publishers?
An agreement with the publishers. We signed the agreement.
That's
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mahmoud. So, any other questions?
Maybe before I leave the podium, if there's any other question that will need my attention. Thank you.